I recently put together some toddler learning at home activities for my daughter. She is currently just over 2 years old, and we've been reading lots of books and doing lots of activities at home, but I wanted to incorporate some more focused and skill-specific activities for her that she would enjoy doing, but also would help her to learn some important skills as she's getting older. All of the materials that I purchased were either from the Dollar Tree or the craft store, but of course if you had some of these things on hand already, a lot of these activities would be completely free. So I want to share them all with you now. Hope you enjoy. So here is the first activity, and I have it here in an old egg crate, as you can see. So I bought both of these items at the Dollar Tree. These are just little clips that are magnetic on the back. I actually didn't know they were magnetic, but that wound up being a great secondary use for these. So they're just little clips. Evie is learning to do this sort of action, like clipping things. What I intended was for her to pick things up, pick up the appropriate color, and these are just little scrunchies that I got at the Dollar Tree. All of them were in a pack for just $1, but I intended for her to be able to pick things up with the appropriate colored clip. Another way that we use it is putting it on the refrigerator, and I thought that she could, do this clipping action with one finger and then put up one of the scrunchies and clip it on while it's on the refrigerator or on a cookie sheet. She can't quite do that, so what she's been doing is just laying them on top and stacking as many as she can onto the clipped part. So that's a great use for it as well. Another way that we use this egg carton with these same scrunchies is I'll do patterns and sequencing and things like that. So I'll do like red, green, red, and then have her fill in whichever color belongs as the last one, and basically back and forth, a red, a green, every other. As she gets older, I could do, maybe throw in red, green, green, red, green, green, see if she can do that. But for now, every other works fine. Another way that we use this set of items is to do a what's missing type of activity. So I would lay out each of the colors. Evie loves doing this with any toy, whether it's, colors or animals, anything. And so I'll lay them out, have her review what's down here. We'll say each one, then I have her close her eyes and I take one away and then have her guess which one's missing, and she is freakishly good at it. And then we started taking two away and have her guess which ones were missing. Kids have such amazing memories, so this is a great way to encourage that in them. So those are two different activities that we can do, 2 or 3, depending on the age of your child, that you can do with these really inexpensive clips and some scrunchies. These next activities are simply lacing, and I did get these items as well from the Dollar Tree. It was a 3-pack, and these came with some really flimsy yarn, and the ends were being frayed. It was very impossible for her to put them through the hole. So I just picked up a pack of shoelaces. So I got 2 shoelaces for $1, and they have a tip at the end, so it's much easier for her to put it in and lace it through. So she is still learning how to do this. She can put in about 3, and then she kind of loses interest, but it's just a great activity. These books I also found at the Dollar Tree. They're great educational book. So this one has shapes in it. So not only is the shape, a large shape, each of the shapes is made up of more of those shapes. So this one's really cute. So what I did was I took some foam, just some craft foam, and I did a blue, a pink, and an orange. And all I did was make another mini version of each of these shapes. So as she goes through the book, she finds the shape that corresponds with this shape and puts it on each page, and then we take those off and do the next page, and we work on, saying each of them. But again, this was a really, $1 book, and then the craft foam was pretty inexpensive, and I've used it for quite a few different activities. So another inexpensive one. This next activity was something I saw on Pinterest, so I took more of that foam and I drew out different shapes, and then the point is to use toothpicks and to lay them out onto the shape and, build the shape yourself using all just simple, solid-sided shapes. Each of these are double-sided, so I got 6 different shapes that all had straight sides, and that's a really good activity that costs basically nothing. I picked up this pack of flashcards at the Dollar Tree as well. It's the Crayola brand, great for early learning. So this is what is the same and what is different, and just goes through with different shapes. And the concepts get a little bit harder as you get through the stack, learning what is the same and what is different, sort of early math concepts. Like some of the pages Nothing is exactly the same, but you know, the birds will be the same, or the dogs are the same, instead of the exact animal is the same, or things are round, you know, things like that. So great learning for her for just $1. This next color sorting activity is really fun and definitely kept her busy for a little while. So I got this little, I've seen this done with pill cases, but I walked through the sort of like tool hardware section of the Dollar Tree. I put in different colored pom-poms. So what I'll do is dump them all out, and then she has to put them back into the corresponding you know, section where the color is. And this is a really great activity, either doing one at a time or trying to fill, you know, all of the greens at once, all of the yellows, stuff like that. And it did have a few extra spots, so I did put in a light blue and a dark blue, which is another concept that's good for her to know, different shades of things, but definitely not necessary. If you had the days of the week, you'd have a few less colors. Another super simple and self-explanatory, I got this pack of watercolors from Hobby Lobby. It was $1.99, and I liked that it was 2 different sets of colors, and she loves to paint, and it's just a great way to work on colors. It's also great for working on color blending, so you know, red and blue makes purple and yellow and red makes orange, things like that. It's great, especially if you read it along with a book that also covers those same concepts. Really inexpensive, and just one little item and some paper. This next activity I sort of made up on my own. I took some ideas from Pinterest, but I found another book at the Dollar Tree, God Made Everything, and it's really cute. So this goes through colors. So God made the red bird, he made the yellow sun, things like that. And so what I did was I took clothespins, also from the Dollar Tree, really inexpensive, and I glued on little pieces of construction paper. Construction paper was also from the Dollar Tree, of all the different colors that were talked about in this book. So as we go through it, she says, God made the red bird. So then we find the red clip, and then we clip it on anywhere on the book, on the side, on the top, you know, anything like that. And then we do the yellow, and she would clip on the yellow. Again, this is still a skill that she's learning how to do this. So of course that's practicing fine motor skills. So she's learning colors and fine motor, and of course learning about all the animals and everything that God made. So another great activity. At the end is God Made Me, and it's so cute. This last book, also from the Dollar Tree. Like I said, there are about 4 different titles that you could get. I didn't see the numbers one, but we did see the color one, but I decided to swap it out for the one I just showed you. But this one is, of course, for letters, and it's a really great size. So what I did was I picked up these wooden letters from Hobby Lobby. I was looking for magnetic letters, but I couldn't find them, so these worked just as well. So what I'll do is I'll lay out the letters that she needs for the page that she's working on, and then she has to find the letter and put it on, you know, pretty obvious. And then of course it has a little animal for each letter, so that's great, learning about, you know, A and B and the sounds everything makes. So really great one. She did this the other day, and she can do the beginning of the alphabet pretty easily. Those are the most recognizable numbers for her, especially since her name is Evie. But then as we get farther into it, it's a little bit harder for her. So it's a really great activity for her to grow into as she's learning her letters. And last but not least, this is probably one of Evie's most favorite activities that we've been working on. These are all little Play-Dohs that I got at the Dollar Tree. Of course, you could get them anywhere. And then I bought these 2 animals at the Dollar Tree, an iguana and an alligator, and then all these little ones came from Hobby Lobby. They came in a container. They're about $10, but of course I used a 40% off coupon. But if you had any little animals at home, of course you wouldn't have to buy anything. But this is about, of course, learning about the different animals and things like that, but taking the Play-Doh and making a little pat of it on the ground, and then pressing the feet of an animal into the Play-Doh, and then having her guess which animal was the one that made the footprint. And she loved this. Of course, I only did maybe like 4 animals at a time, and then I pressed one and put the animal back and had her guess which one. So I tried to pick animals that had feet that were, you know, different from each other, so that it wouldn't be too difficult for her. And of course, making impressions of the animals she enjoyed as well. So taking the Play-Doh, making an impression, and having her match the impression to the animal. This one worked really well for that. But all of them, I mean, the rhino, it's kind of obvious, you can get the shape of it. So she loved any sort of matching game like that. And of course, playing with Play-Doh is always a favorite for any kid. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you give any of these a try, please let me know. Let me know how your kids are enjoying them. And if you have any other great learning activities, ideas, then please leave them down in the comments. I'm always open to more sort of pre-K at home ideas and helping our toddlers to grow up strong and smart. So thanks so much for watching. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye!